New today, the Northampton County Sheriff's Office has released new information about the deaths of an elderly couple found on their front lawn. Investigators have arrested 35-year-old Rivarez Butcher. They say he shot 73-year-old Michael Powell and his wife, 70-year-old Carolyn Powell, and he says that he is related to them. The two were found in the front lawn of their home in Gaston, North Carolina, shot at point-blank range. The law enforcement arrested Butcher in Roanoke Rapids. WRO's Heidi Kirk is live in Gaston tonight, where people say their deaths have shaken the entire community. Heidi?
Gerald, that's right. And the pastor here at Cool Springs Missionary Baptist Church says that these deaths make 3 people murdered as a part of his congregation here at this church. And now Carolyn and Michael's names added to that list. He says that they were remembered yesterday as a part of this congregation.
They brought a presence.
Reverend Travis Judkins says you'd always know when the Powells were around.
They had the ability that oftentimes entering a room, although not saying much, they could change the atmosphere of that room for the better.
For 50-some years, Carolyn and Michael attended church here.
That was her seat right there. I think you perhaps can still see the scuff marks from her back imprinted in the upholstery.
Carolyn sat here on the pew, while you'd find Michael with the choir every Wednesday and Sunday.
The love was immense, and it gave to this world and this generation the certainty that true love still exists between two people.
Reverend Judkins tells us he got the call that they were found dead on Thursday, both shot in the head in their front yard on Moncure Street, at the same house he'd been to many times. One day later, this man, 35-year-old Rivarez Butcher, was arrested for their deaths and for stealing their car. The Northampton County Sheriff's Office tells us he was a member of Powell's family, but the relation is still unclear. Judkins says this Sunday, the congregation honored the Powells, feeling their presence even without them in the room. What is it like to look at that empty pew and know that they will never sit there again?
To look at this place in which she sat, and truly only she sat, and this past Sunday it was occupied by some others, it did not seem right.
Needless to say, for so many people who live and work in this community and knew the Powells, there's a lot of pain there. And of course, there's still a lot of questions that remain. In fact, we don't have a motive as to what drove Butcher to commit these murders. We asked the Northampton County Sheriff's Office. They didn't have an answer for us, so we're still looking for those answers. And Butcher is going to be due in court on November 19th. Heidi Kirk, WRL News, live in Northampton County.